So we are going to be taking a look at a vintage Marvel holiday special.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, from 1991.
Wow.
It features the Fantastic Four. This story is called A Christmas Coda.
Okay.
And it caught my eye because it seems to be like really wrestling with some pretty big questions about the spirit of Christmas.
Interesting.
So can we really find profound lessons about compassion and generosity tucked away in a superhero comic book?
That is the question, isn't it?
That's what we're going to try to find out.
I love it. I think what makes this story so intriguing is the way it uses that familiar superhero setting.
Right.
To explore themes we usually associate with more traditional holiday stories, right?
Right.
Like they're playing with our expectations a little bit.
Exactly.
You know, inviting us to find deeper meaning within a genre known for its action and spectacle.
Right. And we start off on Christmas Eve in New York City.
Okay.
Streets are bustling with shoppers, last-minute gift grabbers, carolers.
Yeah.
You get the picture.
I get the picture.
Holiday spirit is in the air.
Right.
And we're introduced to Franklin Richards.
Okay.
Son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman.
Yep.
Who's out with his mom for some last-minute holiday shopping.
Interesting how Simonson, the writer, immediately sets up this contrast between the commercial aspects of Christmas, you know, the shopping, the presents, and the more heartfelt values that Sue Storm is trying to instill in her son.
Right.
And, you know, this comic was published in 1991.
Right.
A time of, you know...
Rampant.
Yeah, rampant consumerism.
Yeah.
So there's like this subtle critique embedded in this seemingly simple theme.
I love how you picked up on that.
Yeah.
And that critique, I think, becomes even more apparent when Franklin becomes fixated on this ex-mutant killer crocodile Christmas ornament.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a wild juxtaposition of holiday cheer and, like, violent pop culture.
Yeah, it's almost satirical.
It is.
But notice how this seemingly throwaway detail actually foreshadows
Oh, interesting.
the choices Franklin will face later in the story, right?
I see what you're saying.
He's drawn to this over-the-top, almost aggressive image.
Right.
But he'll soon learn that true strength lies in compassion and selflessness.
Yeah.
It's a clever bit of storytelling.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now little Franklin has a dilemma.
Okay.
He only has 50 cents
Oh, no.
to his name.
Yeah.
Which means he has to choose between this killer crocodile ornament and a gift for his dad.
That's a tough choice for a kid.
It's a classic childhood struggle of like limited resources meeting these like unlimited wants.
Right, yeah.
And this is where we see Sue's parenting really shine. Instead of just buying the ornament for him, which would be the easy way out,
Right.
she encourages him to think about what would truly make his dad happy.
Oh.
It's a subtle but powerful lesson in prioritizing others, especially during the holidays.
And it speaks to the heart of Christmas, right?
Giving, not receiving.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But things take a turn.
Ah.
As they're navigating the crowded streets, Franklin gets separated from his mom. Imagine that feeling as a kid, lost in a sea of people, especially on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Right.
That must have been terrifying.
Scary.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a brilliant way to heighten the tension.
Yes.
And to make us empathize with Franklin's vulnerability.
Yeah.
This sense of being lost, both literally and metaphorically.
Right.
Is a theme that runs throughout the story.
I see.
And it sets the stage for his encounter with the old man in the alley.
Okay, this is where it gets good.
Yes. Wandering through the crowds.
Yeah.
Franklin stumbled into this dark, deserted alleyway. And that's where he finds this chained-up old man looking absolutely miserable.
Oh, my gosh.
The contrast between the cheerful holiday atmosphere and this shadowy figure is stark. And Arthur Adams's artwork here, he's known for his detailed, realistic style.
Right.
And the way he renders the old man shrouded in shadows, his face etched with sorrow, it's both haunting and deeply moving.
Wow.
It visually reinforces the idea that this man is carrying a heavy burden.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's not your typical jolly Christmas character, right?
Not at all.
The old man explains that he's forced to wear these chains because he lived a selfish, uncaring life.
Oh.
He never helped others, and now he's paying the price for his past mistakes.
This is where the story takes on that Dickensian quality you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Remember Jacob Marley in A Christmas Carol dragging those heavy chains as punishment for his greed?
Right.
The old man here serves a similar purpose.
Yeah.
He's a reminder that our actions have consequences, even in a world of superheroes and fantastic powers.
And that's what I find so fascinating about this story.
Yeah.
It takes this classic Christmas trope and gives it a superhero twist. It reminds us that even in a universe where people can fly and turn invisible basic human values like compassion and empathy still matter.
And it raises the question, can someone like this old man who seems so weighed down by regret find redemption? Right. Can he break free from his past?
That's what Franklin is about to explore.
I can't wait to see what happens.
Okay, so just as Franklin is taking in all of this, he sees this mysterious woman selling keys.
How interesting.
But these aren't ordinary keys.
I bet not.
She claims they can unlock anything.
What?
In this world or the next, she says.
Whoa, what does that even mean?
That's a good question.
It's a brilliant stroke of magical realism, wouldn't you say?
I would.
It's like injecting an element of mystery and wonder.
I agree.
Into the story.
Yes.
Are these keys literal? Are they symbolic?
Right.
Do they represent something deeper?
Yeah.
Simonson leaves it up to the reader to decide.
It definitely adds a layer of intrigue.
For sure.
So now Franklin has another tough choice.
Okay.
Remember, he only has 50 cents.
Yeah.
Does he buy a gift for his dad, or does he take a chance on this key that might help this suffering old man?
That's a really tough choice.
What would you do?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I know it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he really only has enough for one or the other.
Right.
And there's no guarantee that the key's going to do anything.
It's a total gamble.
It is a gamble.
Yeah.
But that's the dilemma he's faced with.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
That's the central dilemma of the story.
I know. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Do we play it safe and focus on our own needs, or do we take a leap of faith and try to help someone else even if there's no guarantee of success?
Yeah, exactly. And remember, Franklin is just a kid.
Yeah, he's a little kid.
He doesn't have a lot to give.
Yeah, but what he does have, he's willing to sacrifice.
Okay, let's hear what happens next.
And what happens next is a real turning point in the story.
Okay, I'm ready.
What do you think he does?
Does he get the gift or the key?
What do you think?
I'm going to guess he gets the key.
You're right.
Wow.
He buys the key.
Wow.
He uses all of his money to buy a key that might not even work, and he gives that ex-mutant killer crocodile ornament that he wanted so badly.
Wow. That is incredible.
It's such a powerful moment.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah. Here's this kid, not even a teenager yet.
I know.
Demonstrating more compassion and selflessness than a lot of adults do.
I know.
He's not thinking about himself at all.
No.
He's focused on alleviating the old man's suffering.
And it's not just the act itself.
Right.
It's the conviction behind it.
Yeah.
He doesn't hesitate.
Yeah.
There's a real purity in his intentions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It reminds us that sometimes the most heroic acts are the quiet ones.
Yes.
The ones born out of pure empathy.
Absolutely.
And it also challenges us to examine our own priorities, right?
Yeah.
What are we willing to sacrifice to help those in need?
I think that's such a powerful question, especially this time of year.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is where the story takes on an almost mystical quality.
Okay.
Franklin approaches the old man, uses the key to unlock his chains.
Okay.
There's a flash of bright light, and when it fades, the old man is gone.
What?
Vanished.
Oh my gosh.
All that's left is a small wooden box.
Wow, I wonder what's in the box.
So later that evening, Franklin gives the mysterious box to his father, Reed Richards. I'm not going to make you wait any longer.
Okay.
What's inside?
What's in the box?
A single, shiny British shilling dated 1843.
Oh, wow.
And get this.
What?
The ex-mutant killer crocodile ornament.
What are the chances?
No.
Simonson is playing with us here, isn't he?
I think he is.
First, the year 1843 is, of course, the same year that Dickens published A Christmas Carol. It's a subtle but deliberate connection, I think.
That's amazing.
Reminding us of those themes of transformation and second chances that run throughout both stories.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, it's like this comic is in conversation with Dickens.
Right.
Using similar motifs and archetypes to kind of explore the deeper meaning of the holiday.
And what about the return of the ornament?
Right. I think it suggests that when we give selflessly, when we act out of genuine compassion, we often receive these unexpected blessings in return.
Yeah.
You know, it might not be what we initially desired, but it's something meaningful, something that touches the heart.
It reinforces the idea that true giving isn't about material gain.
Right.
It's about the act itself, the willingness to put someone else's needs before our own.
And the story ends with Reed Richards reading A Christmas Carol to the family as snow falls outside.
Talk about a perfect ending.
I know, right?
It brings us back to that idea of redemption and the transformative power of storytelling. It's a reminder that the stories we share, especially during the holidays, can shape our values, inspire our actions, and remind us of what truly matters.
This story really kind of subverts our expectations of what a superhero comic can be, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah, it uses those familiar characters and tropes to explore these really profound themes of compassion, sacrifice, and redemption.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that these values aren't confined to any specific genre or medium.
Right.
They're universal.
It's like Simonson is saying, hey, look, even amidst this fantastical world of superheroes, there's room for deeper reflection.
Exactly.
There's room for stories that remind us of our shared humanity.
And it challenges us to think about the ways in which we might be carrying our own chains.
Oh, that's a good point.
Our own burdens of regret or guilt.
Yeah.
How can we unlock those chains?
Yeah, how can we unlock those chains?
Through acts of kindness.
Right.
Through generosity. Through a willingness to help those in need.
Those are questions we could all benefit from asking ourselves. Not just during the holidays, but all year round.
Absolutely.
This story also raises questions about the nature of miracles.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think the old man's disappearance was a literal miracle, or is there another interpretation?
That is a fascinating question.
It's something I've been thinking about a lot.
Yeah, I think it's open to interpretation.
Okay.
You know, some people might see it as a supernatural intervention, a reward for Franklin's selflessness.
Yeah.
Other people might see it as more of a metaphorical representation of the old man's release from his burdens.
Okay.
A symbol of his newfound peace.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
It suggests that miracles, whatever form they take, can be catalysts for personal growth and transformation.
Totally.
But what about the Fantastic Four themselves? Why do you think Simonson chose to center this story around this particular superhero family?
Oh, remember, the Fantastic Four, unlike a lot of other superhero teams, are a family first and foremost.
Right.
They have their conflicts and disagreements just like any family. But ultimately, they're bound by love and loyalty.
Right.
And I think Simonson is using that dynamic to underscore the importance of family and the power of those bonds.
Especially during the holidays.
Exactly, especially during the holidays.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that the spirit of Christmas is about celebrating with loved ones, offering support and forgiveness, and strengthening those connections that matter most.
And it suggests that even superheroes with all their extraordinary abilities need that grounding force of family to remind them of what's truly important, that true generosity is never a loss. It's an investment in something greater than ourselves. And often it comes back to us in unexpected ways.
It's almost like the universe is rewarding him for his selflessness.
Right.
But it's not about the reward, is it?
No, not at all.
It's about the transformation that takes place within him.
Exactly.
He learns that true happiness comes from giving, not receiving.
And that's a lesson that resonates far beyond the pages of this comic book.
Right.
It's a lesson that's particularly relevant during the holidays,
Yeah, when we're bombarded with all those messages about buying and consuming.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a reminder that the most precious gifts aren't the ones we find under the tree, but the ones we give from the heart.
Totally.
Acts of kindness, words of encouragement, moments of genuine connection. So as we wrap up this deep dive into A Christmas Coda, I'm curious to know what resonated most with you. What are your takeaways from this unexpected Christmas tale?
I think what struck me most is the idea that true heroism doesn't always involve grand gestures or extraordinary feats.
Right.
Sometimes it's the quiet acts of compassion, the willingness to sacrifice for others that make the biggest difference.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
And I think this story serves as a powerful reminder that the spirit of Christmas, that spirit of giving and generosity, is something we can carry with us throughout the year.
For sure.
It's a spirit that has the power to transform not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us.
So this holiday season, I encourage you to look for those opportunities to make a difference, to extend a helping hand, to share a kind word.
Yeah.
You never know the impact you might have.